course, this occurred in my court and in my holding cell, so he's in direct contempt. However, Mr. Heflin, I'll give you or your client or both an opportunity to speak before I render my judgment.
Okay, Mr. Howell, I was planning on speaking to the judge a little bit.
I'll speak.
You want to go ahead? Okay, all right, go ahead.
I'll speak. Your Honor, I'd like to explain why I was mad that day. Like I said, it was a United States post office. It's federal jurisdiction to start with. But I was arrested over in Oxford by county sheriffs, right? All county sheriffs bring me to jail. So you tell me how a city cop, Brad Caldwell, gets over there, gets my cell phone without a search warrant, comes down here, reads it on a stand without a warrant, and swears lies on me, then takes it back to my girlfriend a week later. All right? Now, this is why I'm angry. Then I got the right to face my accuser the next time. That's why I come back and threaten the mailman. I was like, quit spreading lies on me. Then I got the right to face him. Then Brad Caldwell comes back to represent as my accuser. Now, what's the odds of that? Okay, so that's why I'm kind of angry, sir. And it's just, and you should have held me in contempt that day by law. But I had a right to face my accuser. I had a right to self-indict myself, which you guys ain't let me do. And then that illegal search and seizure there, and if you guys in the process, that's some racketeering stuff right there. And my lawyer said yesterday, the prosecutor don't care who she's, he better cares if it's a dirty cop trying to send me to prison for 10 years. That's some racketeering. That's 3 or more working together. Conspiracy. Try me.
That's some racketeering. There's three of them or more of them working together. That's some racketeering. I also don't get what his fascination with the right to self-indict is. I've never heard of it, but what do I know? I'm just a simple country attorney in the Midwest trying to bang out a living.
Did you want to say something too?
Your Honor, we would, just on behalf of defense, I would apologize to the court for any outbursts. Mr. Howell, as he's explained, was obviously very upset that day about the entire situation.
You would be too if you're getting set up.
What was that, Mr. Howell?
I mean, you'd be upset too if they was holding you in here so they can pass or spread it around like peanut butter. You know what I mean? This ain't, I know what's going on. I know what's going on. I want his badge.
Mr. Howell, you're in court right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sitting in the jail.
All right. Now, Mr. Howell,
plus, it's a United States post office. That's federal jurisdiction.
It happened in court in my presence. I've always tried to treat you with respect and fairly. So that's what I'm going to try to do today. And if you've ever listened to me, you really need to listen to me right now, okay? Let me finish what I'm saying. Don't interrupt me. And just sit there and calm yourself down, slow your roll a little bit.
I'm sorry.
Listen to what I have to say and let me finish, okay? Before you try to say anything else. Okay? All right. As the court said, the court found him in direct contempt because it happened in the court's presence and disrupted my court for probably 10 more minutes afterwards in the holding cell.
Supposed to get me right in by law.
He can speak.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Howell, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to try to do this one more time. Don't interrupt me, please.
Oh, it's over. There's people in the jail talking back here, sir.
I don't think that's what it was, but just please let me finish. All right. You made an outburst in court, and you cursed in front of the whole court, so I've got to do something. I had you removed from court, and then you started beating on the walls and disrupted court probably for 10 more minutes. Okay? I can't allow that. I can't allow that to happen in court. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sentence you to 90 days in jail for contempt.
I want to say f*** you too.
Well,
see my shit upstairs.
If
see
you
my
would have
shit
let me
upstairs.
finish.
No, see my up. I self-indict today. See my upstairs.
Sir, I have to advise you to be quiet. You're being held in contempt. You're about to add some more to it. Your add some more to it.
It damn to fit my in your mouth, mother. I ain't Jehovah. Hear the motherfucking sound.
Well, that ain't gonna help you.
If let
Don't bring
me
me back to
finish.
this kangaroo.
No, Mr. Howell, I want you to listen to this.
Send my upstairs. I self-indict by right.
See, that's the problem. You ain't in charge right now, big boy.
I said I self-indict on my felony. Send it upstairs.
That's not what we're here for, Mr. Howe. We're here on contempt today, sir.
I don't give a
Please.
what I'm here for, buddy. Send my upstairs.
Let him go. Let him go.
Dirty mother.
I'm not done with him.
He's not done with it. What you want?
I want you to sit
I
down.
ain't coming back in front of you, you dirty son of a Tom, sit down here. You sit there and let a mother out set me up and know it? You ain't worth a
What I was going to say, Mr. Howell, is
you
I
know
was
you
going
ain't worth a with your tongue, mother I know you want to ride your side by side. I know you. I used to bring Tia Slauson down there. She saw my come and kiss you, mother
to get it out. Get it out of your system.
All right. Don't send my upstairs.
Well, I was going to say I was going to
I don't
probate.
give a what you was going to say. I'm a king. You ain't my king. I'm Jehovah self, buddy.
Mr. Howe, you ain't helping yourself none, buddy. Come
I don't give
on.
a buddy. Send my upstairs and leave you mother kangaroos leave me the alone.
All right. I was going to say I was going to probate his time on the condition he act appropriately in court from here on out. But obviously he can't listen to directions and he can't.
You know
do
it
that.
ain't right,
So I'm going to give him 6 months in jail, contempt, to run consecutive to any other jail time. So on 60
my
days he's
felony
up. If they've not
overriding.
indicted, he's got 6 months to pull.
My
If he
felony
goes to
overriding.
prison, he's got 6 months after that.
Now my felonies override your piece
Have a nice day, Mr. Howe. It's been nice talking to
Don't
you.
mind you I woman again, I'll kill you.
Oh, he just threatened the judge.
There you go, big dog.
He's charged again.
There we go.
Anyways, I was going to probate his time on the condition he just act appropriate in court from here on out. I've thought about it all week.
I'll go write up a new citation, Judge.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That completes the call of the docket. Court is adjourned. Thank you all.
I love the attorney throwing his hands up. Just I'm out, man. What do you want from me? And I also like Dirty SOB. That was inspired. That really was inspired. All right. I've got a nice palate cleanser from Brecken coming up.
Some people can't stand prosperity.
Well, you,
I thought about it all.
Miss McKenzie,
How you doing today?
guess where you were supposed to be yesterday?
I thought it was next week.
How could you think that when Judge
I
Hamilton?
I had the date wrong on the paperwork.
Mhm.
It was not a mistake because I was going to bring in $400 today to pay on them, and they come to the house and got me last night. But I do have money at home to bring in, and then I just can't bring it in while I'm
Oh,
here.
but do you remember the order isn't to come and pay? The order is to appear to talk about how to handle the
Yeah.
balance. And so you pled
This is backup Judge Mom. We can call her Judge Stepmom.
guilty on 8/29 to charges from December 9th of 2024 of driving while license is invalid and no liability insurance. Second, when we saw you, you pled guilty to no insurance. Second, defective tail lamps from October 10th of 2024. And then on August 28th, you got new tickets that we needed to see you on. So the total due at Capias is $18.92, and then less $300 more jail credit, you owe $15.92. Caitlin, I'm going to put it on the defective stop lamps.
Thank you.
$300 jail credit. As of right now, you owe $15.92, and you were supposed to be here yesterday.
Yeah,
Instead, you were in a parking lot having a wreck and leaving the scene.
I sleep with the lady that we had the accident. We both sat there and waited for the laws to show up. I wasn't the only one that left. The other lady left too.
Well, somebody didn't leave because when the police got there, they knew who you were and knew that you had left. So somebody that was involved was there.
Because we had exchanged information, and the officer said they went to the lady's house.
Well, they did. No, they went to your house.
Yeah, they went to my house, but they also told me they went to her house too. Because that lady left too. Or it's what the understanding I took it.
I need to look to see. So we saw you on 8/29. Were you remanded? Why were you there so long?
I don't know. I sat there for several days.
On 8/29. I just want to have a full picture of you paid $22 at the jail. I remanded you 10. That's way back when. You've always ended up with a remand on your history. I'm just looking at all your history. You never really ever follow through. Okay, so let's talk about the tickets you got on August 28th, and let's decide what we're going to do on those. From August 28th, 2025, driving while license is invalid over on Harrison Street. Do you want to plead not guilty because you want to hire an attorney or have a trial?
Guilty.
On your guilty plea, finding court costs is $419 with today's jail credit and the jail credit you would have gotten before your time served. To no liability insurance, fine range is $350 to $1,000 because it was filed as a second. Court costs are $81. Do you want to plead not guilty because you want to hire an attorney or have a trial?
Guilty.
On your guilty plea, finding court costs is $683. On that, your time served because of all your extra jail credit. To operating a vehicle with an expired plate from that same day, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Okay, finding court costs is $192. So here's what we're talking about. You still owe $1592.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
you've got, this is the only reason they took you to jail. What's your source of income?
I get disability every month on the first, but I do have a $600 check. My sister's holding it for me because she cashed it for me, and I was going to use the biggest part of that to come in and pay on these tickets, and that's what I was.
So I'm going to find I can't determine whether or not you're indigent. So why were you at the Walmart on Tascosa Road? That's not the Walmart.
That Walmart's right up the street from me. And I had taken a friend to Walmart because they had to get some stuff from Walmart. And I had
So
went.
that's the Walmart you shop at?
Yes.
Okay.
And I had went to get gas and stuff while I was waiting on the person I took. And I had turned into Murphy's and didn't even realize that car was sitting there until after it happened. And
You're probably going to get some tickets from what happened
and
yesterday.
he told me the only ticket he was giving me was the no insurance ticket. He wasn't giving, this is what the officer told me when they brought me in. The only ticket he was giving me was a no insurance ticket because I got it in.
Because you had a wreck in the parking lot and you don't have insurance. So here we go again. That person doesn't
That's the
have to pay
only,
for her own
that's the
damage.
only ticket he gave me yesterday was that
Oh.
he.
You were out one day. Okay, are you going to be here tomorrow? But you need somebody to drive you here. I don't want you to violate the law.
I know people that she said when
She just can't behave. I can relate. I can relate.
if I could get out, she'd bring me to court tomorrow.
Okay, that nice person needs to bring you to court tomorrow at 1:30.
Yes, ma'am.
And you'll be talking about all options to pay, but if you fail to appear, it goes back to capious warrant and the amount goes up.
Yes,
And the
ma'am.
next time you'll be sitting them out again.
Yeah, like I said, I had about $400 that I was gonna bring in and pay.
That's not what, I want you to.
I understand.
Okay, I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Court does call the case of Town Center Place versus Singrid Mill.
Shout out to Law Nerds Unite. Zach got this for me. But you probably already knew that.
Pardon?
You might have to do that.
If you didn't see my drunk lady in court earlier today, you really have to. It's fantastic.
Oh, Miss Melvin? Come on. She's gonna need equipment.
I don't know where they are, but I have prior videos on this one. Yes, the drunk lady was Brecken's fault as well. I don't know if I said that this morning.
Okay, can you hear me, Miss Melvin?
Yes.
Okay, so state your name.
Sigmund Melvin.
Okay, so a couple of things before we can begin.
Yeah.
You brought some things with you today.
Yes.
Okay. I was informed that you brought some things, and I just need you to confirm. Did you bring like 2 dead mice?
Yes. And 2 pounds of dead poop. And
2 pounds?
and 2 filters from the heating unit that the management team doesn't replace. I have to do it myself.
Okay, so let me ask you this, because my understanding is that those items are still in our building.
Yeah.
It's called a proffer, but can you tell me why you brought them?
On the 27th of July, I was sitting having my morning coffee, and there was a little gray object in front of my apartment door. When I looked over closer, it was a mouse, a live mouse. So I used my metal garbage wastebasket and covered it. I called the office twice, but nobody answered, so I had to go downstairs, and the maintenance man came up and took the mouse out. Well, I
Oh, go ahead.
I talked to the neighbors and said, no, you have mice in your apartment. Well, I didn't know I had mice in my apartment. Till I started looking for it.
Okay. Okay, hold on 1 second. So you would be able to tell me all of that. Is there a reason why you brought these deceased mice
Well,
here?
so you would believe me, you know.
Okay, but my staff went out and said that you could take a picture, but you said for some reason that the picture wouldn't do.
Well, I got 3 cameras. And different times,
You have what?
I got 3 cameras. And at different times, they are being disconnected from the office. But they could all connect into the intercom system.
The internet?
Intercom system, when you get into the lobby, you press or to get into me to open the door so you can come in.
Okay.
Well, my system has been working for years, go to see the office, and so I bought those today. I have to.
But okay.
Yeah, I know.
But I'm on the mice.
Okay.
what? You brought them so that I would believe you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I didn't know, you needed the evidence or just.
Right. But then my staff said, well, why don't you take pictures? And you said you can't. So is it that you can't take a picture?
No, the fact that they're not connected. Right now, I had to go out and buy a new phone so I could call for a cab so I could come here today. Because the office disconnects everything.
Okay. So, ma'am, you. So you could take a picture of these mice and the poop. I guess it's probably a better word, but
I'm still kind of shocked that I have mice in my apartment. And I'm still,
okay.
the pest control comes, but they don't remove the mice. So I would have to pick them out.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Besides the mice and you said 2 pounds of.
Yeah.
Okay, besides that, what else is in the bag?
Just the dirty filters from the air conditioning unit, because they don't come and replace them. So I have to go out and buy my own and do it my own. And I've been doing that for over 10 years.
Okay. So, and that's the reason that you brought it all, so that you would tell me that and then I'd believe you.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what I need you to do. I have to get those things out of this building. Those have to get out of this building.
I take my right there and put them in the garage.
Okay, so.
You want me to do it?
Oh, I'm not doing it. So you're gonna.
The trash man, every time I take it over there.
Okay, but hold on a second. I take it, Counselor, you've not seen the mice.
Oh, I've seen pictures of the dead mice that she's left in the mailbox for my money. But yeah, I've definitely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. No, but the
But I didn't see them as
you watch my day, really? So these particular mice.
I don't need to see them, Your Honor. No, thank you.
All right. And just
You may.
as well as their, and I'm presuming they're friends because that's a lot. The droppings you don't need to see. Okay. What about the filters?
What
would I need?
The filters.
Oh, that's okay. So.
What's okay?
But Your Honor, the filters aren't an issue, so I don't really.
Right.
Okay.
But if she raises something about the filters, which I'm not clear what that is, do you see a need why I would need to see the filters? No?
Do you?
I have no clue today.
Same.
Okay. So.
Your Honor, in regards to the filters.
Yeah. So I think they're all together in one bag.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but so what I'm going to tell you to do is you're going to have to get that bag out of this building.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to give you a chance to do that. I'm going to let you take the mice, their droppings, and also the filters. If for whatever reason they come up, I'll figure it out.
Okay, which way to the trash can?
I'm not going to debate their existence, Your Honor. I waive that.
Thank you. All right. That's really what I needed from you.
Yeah.
All right. So you go out. We'll have somebody show you where you should dispose of them because I don't want you just to put them in a trash can in the building.
Well, they are in containers that are sealed. So, okay.
They're,
Okay, which way?
what they're I don't even want to know. Just, they'll show you where to go outside of the building. They'll show you where the dumpster is.
Okay.
Okay? So you go do that. We'll be here. When you come back, we'll.
Walk while you wait.
Oh my God.
I know her.
Court stands in recess. Take me off.
A district court for County Washington, State of Michigan, found back in session with the Honorable Judge J. Cedric Simpson.
You may be seated.
Mission accomplished.
Look at that editing.
Yes, well, thank you. All right. Court does call the case of Town Center. Oh. Court does call the case of Town Center versus Melvin. Counsel, state your appearance.
Thank you. I'm Sarah Connor on behalf of the Contempt.
Can you say your name?
Stuart Melvin.
All right, thank you. All right. Let me, before we start out the trial in this matter, what are the issues that are raised by the by the plaintiff regarding I need a pen. I walked off with it. No, by the plaintiff that are the basis for the termination. Thank you.
Issues that are raised, Your Honor, are that she has repeat these violations that include keeping a balcony that is not fit with the house rules policy. That policy is put in effect to prevent rodent infestation, to prevent excessive clutter and debris, and
These are the pots on the.
these are pots on the balcony. Yes.
Okay.
There's also currently before this court that has just been submitted a health hazard situation in which she failed a health inspection, where the inspector found there was excessive clutter in her unit itself. That was filed before the court this week.
So that's another case.
That's another case, Your Honor, but it's before this court. Not today, but planned.
Okay. Miss Melvin?
Yeah.
We went through this the last time, and I guess the issue of the pots on the balcony, you gave your reasons, but the rules are rather clear regarding the number of pots you can have on the balcony.
It doesn't say that, so.
It's
I'm here from 2022. It says the balcony is 19 voices at one. There's no limit on part. That's the woman, lawyer trying to use to get him to move out. And I've been doing that since 20 May 2022.
so we're not even in agreement that the rules say that, right? You don't agree that the rules, because what I read the last time, as I'm recalling, I did not keep a copy, was that there were 5 potted plants permitted. Specifically, also, there were no hanging plants allowed.
One of my neighbors, he passed away. He was in charge of the gardens. And he had 20 planters on his balcony.
Okay, when was that?
That was the first of the month, August, because he passed away in August.
Of this year?
And his name is Phil Pope.
Do you know anything about that balcony?
Relevancy, Your Honor?
Well, you should know.
Pertains to this case.
He died.
I get it. But do you know anything about that?
Don't, Your Honor.
No, I'm asking because
sometimes, and I'll just say it this way, sometimes rules are enforced once they become a problem. You know what I mean? So like she could have 10 pots on her balcony, but maybe, and this is just hypothetical, if everybody else is not copying it, they kind of just let that ride if it's not really a problem. What I saw from the photographs of your balcony the last time, Miss Melvin, is there are a lot of pots out there, and there was a hanging flower basket that was, I think, on the curl of a railing coming down from the unit above.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you agree that you can't have the hanging baskets?
Well, yes and no, because they've been there since I moved in 2006.
Not those baskets.
No, well, they die and I get new ones come spring. And like some of my house plants are on the balcony too. So if I remove them, that means 5 plants less. What's it going to be?
Right, but at some point, okay, I get it. But so if I take what you're saying, that you're allowed to use the balcony, that balcony that the hanging pot is coming off of, that's not your balcony.
It's part of my apartment. I open the patio door, that is my balcony. And I go from there.
No, right, but above you is the other is the next floor.
Yeah, there's 170 balconies. The whole house.
Right, but what I'm saying is, when you hang something from the one above you, that's the other person's balcony that you're using.
Well, I don't know, because it's in the metal specs and it has a.
Yes, I know, I saw it, but it's hanging from their balcony. So if you're saying you get to use your balcony, because that's what the rules say, the problem with the hanging plants is that you're using somebody else's balcony.
Well, I guess it can fit into it that way. But it's September now, so they're going to be gone till next May. You know.
Okay, and so they have not died as of yet. The potted plants, I don't have hanging.
One died, so they've got 2 more to go. So
I only saw one. There were 3 out there?
Yes, there's 3. I have a current, or I updated it. You're on hold to see it.
Okay, does it show that one of them is dying?
No.
Okay, all right, of course not, right?
Yes. It was for you.
yeah, but you can see.
Hold on, I don't have it in front of me yet.
Okay.
These were taken on page 15. By Mr. Hague here.
So August 15th?
Yes, Your Honor.
By end of this month, it probably be gone, because, you know, it's get cold outside, 45 degrees at night, and the plants are dying. So that probably eliminated.
Okay, let me ask you this. Of the potted plants that you have out there, are all of them living right now?
Always have been like,
Pardon?
no, I didn't.
Oh, are they all living right now? The plants that are in your pots out there, are they living?
The carrots didn't come up.
Pardon?
The carrots didn't come up.
Oh, the carrots, okay.
Come up. Some reason why the nature is not growing like it used to. Then the other.
Climate change.
And one more part, except I haven't been strong enough to move them downstairs.
Okay, so,
And this one here in the corner, that's my TV antenna.
oh, but you, yeah, I know. So, but you have your TV antenna in a pot of dirt.
Yeah. So the town stabilizes it.
No, I get why you might do that.
I can't get cement or somebody, carry it, so I have to do things myself. Nobody comes to help me.
Okay.
Now, let's see, well, the sunflowers are gone there when you got this week, so that's all eliminated.
Okay, let me ask it another way. Are there more than 5 pots right now that have like living plants in them?
Yes. Tomatoes, okra,
Okra?
and my spices, parsley, and basil, and things like that. It's when I cook, I just have to get my fresh spices out of the balcony into the kitchen. But I believe in more natural products.
Okay, so Ms. Melvin, if I tell you that, let's say, I'm not saying this is what I'm ordering yet, but let's say I say today, you have to get that down to 5 pots.
Because the sunflowers are dead. Now, the question is, I have the pots, they have dirt. So can I leave them when they don't have nothing?
No, because the problem is not entirely the plant. It's that you have the pots out there.
Okay, in that case, will they reimburse me for the cost of the plant? Because
I don't.
Social Security.
No, I know, but why? Okay, so here's what I'm trying to figure out. You can't have more than 5 pots out there. That's what I see, okay? But I realize that you've gone through the whole summer with what you have out there, okay? That's why I was asking what's died off already, and then what do you still have?
I still have 3 rose bushes. Those were presents from my family and friends for Mother's Day, my birthday, and that. And usually when we had the different management team, I would take those rose bushes and put them into our front yard at the front of the building. So we have like 15 rose bushes grown. But this type of management, I'm not touching any rose bush. Without putting anything in there. So
you used to take the rose bushes and plant them outside?
Yeah.
In the front?
Yeah.
Okay. So you got the 3 rose bushes, and then what else? And those are in separate pots?
Yeah.
Okay. And then what else do you have that's still?
Just tomatoes, okra, and just vegetables, spices.
Spices. And are your spices all in the same pot?
Yep.
Okay. So that's 3 more pots that you have up there that have something growing.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I'm gonna be there till next spring.
yeah. So but the rose bushes, so these are kind of different for me. Okay, because the rose bushes are perennial. So that's going to come back, right? In the spring. You bring those inside.
So I'm gonna put them someplace in the, we have 40 garden beds, so I can maybe put it inside my box garden bed.
What box garden bed?
I have the courtyard, that's the next picture, but I should.
Yeah.
There's little boxes for people to utilize in the building. She occupies, I believe, 3 of those, the ones that are here, as well as the overage that has gone over against management's agreement. Those are her garden beds. But Your Honor, she's requested more and all the other residents only have one. So the fact that she has 3 is way over and above what the management has done for any other resident in the building.
Okay. And these, just so that I understand, each resident basically has 1, she has 3, but irrespective of that, these are where the residents have the ability to garden and plant.
Yes, they just fit in the little courtyard where it's safe.
Got it.
Which rodents do not penetrate the building, so to speak,
Why are the rodents coming and eating plants?
because that's what they do.
Well,
No, they're looking for, well, okay, certain types of rodents, but really? You okay?
yeah,
Okay, can you hear me, Miss Snow? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So
oh,
what you,
it's sitting on my necklace, that's why I hear go.
oh, okay, I got you. Okay, so you have, so what you were planning to do with the rose bushes is you were gonna take them down and plant them.
No, no, with this type of management, I'm not doing anything extra for them. I'm going to either give them to somebody or put them in the garbage.
Okay, so the rose bushes aren't gonna be there. Okay,
They're blooming right now.
right, right. So they're still blooming right now.
But, you know, the week or so we gone.
Right. Well, probably got longer than a week, but and then you have the 3 others which are still
Yeah,
growing.
well, the tomatoes,
Tomatoes.
the spices.
Right. Okay. So how are you going to, if I tell you that you have to get down to 5 or below, right? So you got what I count as 6 different ones that are going right now, right?
Yeah.
If I told you you had to get that down to 5, right?
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, so how are you going to get those off of the balcony?
What I'm gonna do, I have to take the dirt out of the bigger ones, and then put the small ones in the bigger one. So you still gonna have, you know, 5 plants.
Okay.
The way that things going this year.
So you're going to take the dirt out of the smaller ones, put it into the bigger ones?
Well, I was gonna put the whole pack into the bigger ones, and take the dirt out of the bigger ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I told you that you had to get down to 5,
Okay,
how long will that take you to do?
2 weeks.
You think you can do it in a week?
I've been doing everything else by myself in a week.
Okay, okay.
You should have said you changed the mice for 4 weeks before the exterminator came and put mouse traps.
Okay, we may get to that, maybe not today, but at some point. So now,
And I'm bringing up a different subject.
hang on. Whoa, no, not yet. Yeah, maybe not at all, but hold on. Hold on. Is there a rule or regulation regarding antennas? Because I'm not,
Do you just need a regulation?
yes, I'm just wondering if you know of one.
Slide my hand him. You want the highlighted version or non-highlighted?
This is fine.
The other issue is that tomatoes, carrots, spices, and okra are not permitted to be on the patio as well. It specifically says no bird feeders or food or condition that would attract birds, bees, insects, animals of any kind are permitted. As she's testified, there have been mice present in her unit.
Yeah, but I don't know, who's gonna tell me those? Yeah, but I heard mice don't like okra. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. But
Is to prevent rodents from infiltrating the unit. And we have a unit here with this exact issue in which it was meant to prevent.
yeah, but I guess what
It's my only.
I hear you. I guess what I'm trying to figure out though is, are the plants that she has, who's going to be able to tell me those attract rodents? I mean, because I don't know that myself. As opposed to any other type. I mean, well, hold on, man. Just a second.
You want me to?
I mean, who's gonna, I mean, I realize we're just here and there aren't necessarily like expert witnesses or anything because, yeah, but I don't know of my own knowledge that what she currently has attract rodents. Now, granted, some of these, pardon?
Tomatoes, carrots, spices, no. Although the carrots tend to grow supposedly.
I mean, when I had a garden outside, but these mice were going to be wherever anyway. I just don't know that. What floor do you live on?
According to
Third floor.
Third floor?
Yeah. Right. According to Google AI, Michigan mice are attracted to vegetables, both gardens and harvested.
So how do I know I have Michigan mice and these weren't from Alabama?
Potatoes, staple foods, fruits.
The most came to my house the 26th of July.
They came to your house?
And when did the tomatoes, spices, and okra start growing?
I'm going to be a bit hard pressed to enforce the rule in a fashion where somebody can't grow tomatoes.
I understand that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that.
Trying to split hairs. In this picture, there's 18 pots that I found, including the hanging pots.
I know.
And, there's a way in which you can keep tomatoes from attracting mice, and like by putting fencing around it, etc. What?
Like you want to go there.
I don't want to go there. But I am.
Yeah.
But I'm saying you can look at the other two balconies that are in this picture that have plants on them. There's one up at the top of the corner and one right there. And there's a huge difference between their plants and her.
But see, I agree with you on that. But I would suspect
She's also on the third.
that more than the type of plant itself that might attract mice, to the extent that's what's happening, it's probably just hang on a second, I'll get to you. It's probably the number and the
Volume.
yeah,
I think that's more my argument so far, than vegetables. It's just that, she's on the third floor here, Your Honor. They can climb. I mean, this is directly under.
I know mice can climb, but I think those are flying mice. I think they came from the 10th floor.
I think they can fly.
Yeah. Yeah, seems like they're called bats.
And like, Your Honor, this picture was taken directly underneath, so you can kind of see the building reaches here.
Right. No, I'm familiar actually with the building itself. I just, okay, what do you want to tell me?
I've been there since 2006.
Mm-hmm.
I started the gardens together with going home, and we paid for the land and for the garden, all that. And the mice went in 206, not there. The mice eat hardwood. Because I haven't figured, I figured they eat cheese. No, I got cardboard I should have brought. You could see where the mice eat.
Okay.
So they didn't eat my plants.
Okay, I don't know if they have or have not. Okay, I think we might have to have the mice as witness. But I'm,
We just
wow,
Hey,
really?
Hey,
Wow, wow, wow. Oh, that was way too quick that you said that. All right.
okay.
the time your day's going, come on.
Yeah, I know. That was pretty good. All right.
On the plan,
Uh-huh.
170 balconies. How come I'm the only one that get persecuted?
Okay, but look, just if you look in the picture, look at how the other balconies are.
Because they have a social security check that doesn't pay enough to get flowers or anything.
Well, I don't know.
We dealing with Section 8 section people.
Okay, but I don't know that that's the case with all these people.
Well,
I would just say
some people.
that's true. So, but what we've got to do.
Some people put their bicycles on the balcony.
I think this is a farce of misbalance of justice.
And they have stores but boxes on it. No, the lady has to go sell at the flea market. She got plastic bags on her balcony.
Okay, but here's the problem. There may be other balconies with issues. Okay, but that doesn't mean because they have issues, you don't. So here's what's going to happen with the balcony. The hanging pots have to be removed. Right. So what I'm going to permit is that the hanging pots, we're going to probably have to do this in the form of some type of order, but the hanging pots, once the plants have died, the flowers have died, and or December 15th, whichever comes first, those have to be removed, and you can no longer have any hanging plants.
No problem.
Okay.
You're stretching it all the way to December 15th, Your Honor.
I'm just thinking of when our winter comes.
I don't.
Because I don't, yes, I'm going to the 15th with them.
Last year it was like 70 degrees on December 15th.
Yeah, but December 15th, you'd have to get rid of them anyway. Yes, I'm going to December 15th on those.
That's my question, Your Honor.
That's it. So you knew the answer before you asked. All right, so with the, have your rose bushes stopped blooming yet?
No, they still got to develop. One died and there's two more blooming. Matter of fact, this kind of later started 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
It was like, what's going on with me?
mine did too,
No.
and something has to do with the heat,
Yeah.
but so, and the type of rose that you might have. But you said one of them's dead?
Yeah.
Okay. So the one rose bush certainly has to go.
Yeah.
Okay. So you said you had spices?
Parsley and basil,
Okay.
okra,
You had your tomatoes?
yeah. They're still green, but.
Right. And you had your okra?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the two parts where the sunflowers are in, they are empty, because the sunflowers are gone.
They're probably dead. Okay. So here's what I'm gonna allow to have happen. The two living rose bushes you can keep on the balcony. Okay, because they're in separate pots, right? And then your three that you have, which have the tomato, okra, and your spices, can stay. Okay? And then all of the other pots have to go. Okay? Now I'm letting you keep the hanging baskets. I get them. I get the concept. I'm going to let you keep those until they stop flowering, and then they've got to go. And they don't get to come back. Okay? So so you understand, if you get rid of or do something else with the rose bushes, next spring you can plant something else, but you can't have more than those 5 pots. Okay?
Yep.
So you say you can get all of those pots off in a week?
I'm gonna do the shopping cart or trash barrel to put them in so I can wheel them outside the building. We used to have shopping carts, which made it easier, but now we're kind of playing games. So I have to figure a way
How to get out there.
I can't carry it on myself, so I put them in the shopping cart or trash can. Otherwise, it's a tool.
Okay. If council, outside of what may be your objection to the hanging baskets, but I think I'm going to remain firm on that for the moment. That basically addresses what plaintiff's issues are, right? With the potted plants. No?
No.
Why?
All this vegetation behind her boxes is causing damage to the building.
Where is it that she's got to take care of that vegetation?
She planted it all.
The vegetation?
All this, yeah, all this stuff.
Except for this bush, right?
What damage is it causing to the building? Don't you do that, ma'am. Do not wave your head like that. That is a legitimate question on my part. You can't come in here just accusing her of things, telling me she's doing something to cause damage to the buildings and not be able to back it up. Am I understood? Am I understood? Counsel, you better check your client. I'll be back. Court's gonna stand in recess.
Ooh, I didn't know this got heated.
Taking a break.
You may be seated.
He really does hate landlords. There's no toys about it. I like him, but I mean, he's just, I know who he is.
Where we were at the last point was the vegetation against the building, which
With my client and confirming, we just would like to make it known that as is our obligation, we are going to maintain that area, remove everything that has been planted and overplanted. And as is their property and not hers, I'm not going to allow her to plant anything else there.
Well, my question is this.
Yes.
The stuff that's I'm looking at this picture. Are you talking about the stuff that's behind the boxes, or do those boxes go all the way back to the wall?
They do not go all the way back to the wall. There is like a good maybe 1 inch or 2 inches of space in between the wall and the box. So it's like a 4x4 box or so. I don't exactly know how to explain it, but
Well, it looks like it's about 2 in the front. But is it like it's like a rectangle?
it's like a square.
But the 2x2 square what I can't get is the depth of the boxes going back.
Right, because of all the vegetation there. And so,
Well, not entirely because of the vegetation. It's because if you're telling me that they're square, then I could, just by looking, say, at that first box on the right, I can estimate how far back that goes. But what I don't know is how close is that to the wall? And it's really the angle of the photo
yes, Your Honor.
that I can't.
Let's see if the other photo that I have shows it better. Yeah. May I?
Yeah,
I have an older photo, Your Honor.
okay. That may help me.
Yeah.
Because the other, I'm looking at the tall plant in the back. Okay, gotcha.
So
Okay.
our only statement, I guess, would be, and, my client is deeply sorry for her attitude towards the court. However, this has been an ongoing problem and she kind of let her emotions get the best of her. But there's like this little fencing that she put up and the planting is, she kind of continues to do it. So they're
The
gonna,
little fencing.
the first picture, it's kind of white. It's like down here, you see it?
Oh, I did. Okay.
They're gonna have to remove that.
Like the stake fence
Yes.
in that.
They're gonna have to remove that. And as it's her property, it's just, she's just.
So the idea behind these is that whatever's planted should be in them.
Yes, absolutely.
Got it.
So I think all my client is just trying to convey is that they are going to have to rip out and maintain the rest of that from incidences and occurrences they've had with Miss Melvin in the past. Those have not been pleasant. And so.
Got it. So I get the white fencing. I get that.
Okay.
My question though is, when I look at these two photos,
Yes.
thank you for the older one.
Yes.
The tall item going up the back, if I'm recognizing the leaves on it,
Yes.
doesn't look like that. Really, I don't feel safe, Alan. What is that? That almost looks like a sumac, which,
Tree?
yeah, coming up the back.
Could be, Your Honor.
And the only reason I mention that is because that's not something that she would have planted. It just, and what I don't know is if she does nothing behind there, but something naturally comes up, what happens then?
Right. So all the other boxes they typically maintain because she's had the property. They've during these proceedings had left it alone because she put the little fence up there and she continues to plant things because they wanted to avoid a situation in which they were ripping out her property. And since plants are considered a person's property, they wanted to make sure the court was aware that as that is not permitted for her to plant on the private property of my clients, they are going to have to go through and rip that stuff out, even though she has claimed it with that small fence. That's all the point that I was trying to make, Your Honor.
Okay. So what
do you follow me? Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does. And I just want to check something. Miss Melvin,
Yes.
you didn't, the boxes that are down on the,
Yeah, I had Growing Home put them in. And
Pardon?
At Growing Home put them in, and I got the permission from Ed Tucker. He was our residence principal, resident when I moved in. So this box has been there, at least my street, since.
no, I'm not having a problem with the box.
Neither are we here.
Behind them, so there's stuff to the side of the box. You didn't plant anything.
No, because elderberry bush grows up, morning glory grow up.
Right, but so.
That was there before I moved and before they cut all the bushes and flowers around the whole building and replaced it with mulch.
Got it.
Which brings the rats in.
Right, but here's what I'm gonna ask you.
Okay.
Did you plant anything behind the box?
No.
And I'll be honest with you, council, I mean, I may be wrong, but as I'm looking at
Oh.
the leaves of what I can see.
Your Honor, I'm not going to debate that. I'm only saying that there's the little
I think that's a part that the landlord,
is definitely going to take care of. I'm only
Yeah.
saying the part in which there's that little fence there makes it appear like she's trying to continue planting. That was not put there by nature. That was put there by a person.
right,
Yeah.
but did she plant anything behind there? You see,
Not behind
you see the little white fence, Miss Melvin?
It's
White.
I'll point it out.
Yeah, because you may not pick it up.
It's this right here.
Oh, that protects the plants. I have Michigan cactus growing. And that's why that little white fence is there. So when they come and cut the grass, they don't cut the flowers right there.
We have to remove that.
Okay, so whose Michigan cactuses?
Yes, Michigan cactus.
Right, I know, but whose is it?
It's mine.
Okay, did you put it there to?
Yes, I put.
Okay, so Ms. Melvin, so here's the deal. I understand what you were doing with the cactus. The cactus has to go in the box,
Okay,
okay?
yeah.
All right. It can't be out to the side. So that area that you put the fence up to protect, they're gonna have to clean that out,
All right, no problem.
okay? They're also gonna go behind those boxes. You see what's kind of growing
Yeah,
up there in the
that's
back?
elderberry bush. I cut it
Pardon?
this week. I cut it this week because I harvested the elderberries.
Is that your elderberry?
Yeah.
Well, that's not yours, is it?
No, I didn't. plant
It was just, it came
It came out
naturally.
Like the morning
Yeah.
glory comes out and the fennel comes out.
Yeah, I may have that wrong, but that certainly looks like a native plant to me.
And we're not,
Mine did.
yeah, we're not debating that at all. We're just stating that we have to remove all of that. And that was the issue in which my client was trying to present, that those plants need to be removed as they're posing a damage to the building. And we didn't want to strike.
Yeah, but that's not, but
Okay, but Your Honor.
that's not her damage.
No,
If you don't take out those natural things growing next to a building,
absolutely. But what I'm.
so they can take them out. It's
When
not
they do
her.
it, they have to do the plant stuff that she planted as well, because that's not her property to plant on. And they didn't want to create,
What did she plant out there?
she just said she planted the cactus.
Right,
Okay.
and she also just said, I just told her she needed it moved.
Right.
So, counsel, here's my problem
So I'm
with
not-
this. No, here's my problem. My problem is, Miss Melvin is a very definite person. She has her beliefs, and she has that. But she needs to be treated like a human being when asked to do something. And I just don't get that that's what's happening with her. Because I sit up here with this robe, but when I tell her everything that she wanted to have happen and everything that she was giving me her defense to, that this is what she needs to do, she's fine with that.
But you're not.
And I'll just say this also. What was very clear regarding the things behind there and what your client said was that she was doing things to cause damage to that building. She's not doing that.
And I spoke with my client and we talked about it, that they have the right to remove that. Her consent.
I am not disputing that, counsel. I'm not disputing that. What I'm saying is, because that's behind there, she's not trying to cause any damage to the building. She didn't plant that there. It's a native plant that's coming up. I get why your client may not have wanted to go behind there. with the case pending, but that's not her fault.
No.
I mean, it just,
Your Honor, we agree with that. It's not her fault. We did speak about that. And I do agree that any plant that is naturally occurring, they do have to maintain, and they do maintain the grounds. However, the little fence there, as well as the cactus in which she planted, gave them pause. All I was trying to do was put on the record that they do have to go in and clean that up to prevent any further damage to the building.
Miss Melvin, they're gonna move the fence.
Yeah,
You're gonna move the cactus.
heard you. Right.
Correct? I know you did.
I have one question.
And
About 2 years ago, one of the managers went crazy and remodeled my apartment and also attacked my garden. I had patio bricks between the boxes that would keep the sand from running down. I would like to have a reimbursement.
This is what you get for encouraging her, Judge. I have no sympathy for you from here forward.
For those patio bricks, because they've been doing stuff and
I don't know what the patio bricks are.
I know they're 4x4s. You put them,
Well, I know, right, I know what a patio brick is.
but they take stuff out, like remodel my whole apartment. Now, my bookcase is on that side, there were all the electric outlets
All
are.
right.
And then the couch is in the middle. So when I have to plug something in, I gotta crawl over the couch. They ain't got no right to come into my apartment and move it.
Okay, but
Yeah.
Miss Melvin. Have a seat. Have a seat. Miss Melvin, have a seat. Okay.
And
You talked about two different things.
Yeah.
Okay. And the patio, so here's how I understand. The patio blocks, if they're outside,
No, they removed them.
right, but if they were,
Yeah,
they could remove them.
yeah. Well, they shouldn't move them because when it rains, all the dirt flows down in front of the boxes. This will keep the dirt back.
That's what you're trying to do. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Oh, one question. Which company started this lawsuit? Is it Rose Management? Is it Winfield or Town Center Place?
The plaintiff in this case is Town Center Place.
Town Center Place.
Yes.
So which company owns Town Center Place?
I don't know him.
Yeah, see, that's it. Because if it's Town Center Place, it's these are the rules and my rights, not this, what is it? This house, these house rules. These house rules are not made by HUD, they're made just by Rose Management.
Okay.
So-
Ms. Melvin, I'll get back to that in just a second, okay? What were you gonna say, Counsel?
I was going to say, Your Honor, before commencing this lawsuit, I had a sit down with Ms. Melvin to discuss the plants on her porch. I had a sit down with her. She had counsel present. I did explain that she is welcome to keep 5 plants. We talked about the policy, why it was important for the policy, et cetera.
When did you talk to me?
We had that meeting back in May, Your Honor.
Okay.
We had that meeting.
Oh, it was in June. It was shortly before my birthday, Your Honor. It was back in June. Okay? And we had that meeting. We spoke with her. We sat down. We have sent several letters. And this entire time, we have kept an open communication with Ms. Melvin and attempted to talk with her in a respectful and
Counsel, I am not saying that you did do that. I have some serious concerns about how these folks are being treated. I don't like it.
You suggested they were all jerks, Judge. You clearly did. It's not the end of the world, but stand behind what you did.
And since you brought it up, I don't like it when at the last hearing, I have 2 town center cases.
Yeah.
And there are these 2 elderly women complaining about not having a television clicker.
Like I said, this wasn't.
Oh, Miss Melvin, hold up. Miss Melvin, I got it. Okay, hold on. And And then the basis for why that's occurring, I maybe can understand, but to hear them say things where just certain basic dignity. I mean, how would you like it to live someplace and the television, because of what's going on, because I'm not inventive enough to think of another solution, that whatever I leave it on Friday, whatever channel I put it on is what you guys have to watch the whole weekend until we get back on Monday? And I don't care about the justification, even if that's overnight. You know,
You're talking about.
I think that she doesn't fight back as to you because you are respectful. I think she fights back against management because as I watch those two, and I don't want to call them elderly, but those mature women, just complaining about what's happening to them. And maybe some of it's legitimate, but it concerned me that they don't have a social work. They don't have. There's a problem here that this communication isn't happening in a respectful way to just explain to Miss Melvin, you can't have this. And to kind of work with her. The whole conversation that I had today about what plan she had, this and that, I don't get it. And it's problematic. And quite frankly, I don't know that senior citizens should be treated that way. I get they're providing housing. I get all of that. But there's a whole lot that comes with that clientele, that population.
And I think that kind of comes to the placement and essentially where they're at and the services in which our companies of honestly equipped to offer. They're not in assisted living, they're in independent apartments. And so
I know, counsel, I get it. But what I'm saying is the population has certain needs. You can defend your client all you want, but I'm going to tell you what, God willing, when we all get there, if we get there, there's a certain dignity that people have to have and a certain dignity in how you treat. And I haven't seen it.
Your Honor, respectfully, you do.
I would say the same about you with respect to landlords, Judge. Let's carry on.
You probably have not seen it because the cases that come in front of you are the ones that need to come in front of you because you have to solve them.
Yeah.
But our building has hundreds of more units that do not come in front of you. Hundreds of people that have been there for a
Counsel, you don't need to explain that to me, but if you're going to try to lecture this court, you better stop and slow your roll.
My point was not to lecture the court. My point was just simply to show that
I'll lecture the court. I just did, and I'll do it again.
Melvin has been given lots of respect, Your Honor, and this hearing and every other occurrence that I've had with her that I've heard from management.
May I have the full? Well, I had to replace 4. Well, there's another 4.
Okay, but Miss Melvin, hold on. That's not before me right now. Okay. Now, Mr. Allen,
now would be a good time for a motion for a substitution of judge, and I think you have proper basis for it in this circumstance. I really do. And I like Judge Simpson, but he's absolutely biased in these matters. He's gone completely off the ranch. He's not doing law. He's doing feelings. This is an Alan Alda focus group at this point.
We're holding up some rules you say apply. No. No, hold on. When you said that remember when you just asked me about it being town center or who was bringing you here? Right? And you were holding up something different.
It's the HUD rule.
This is a letter why I don't have a lawyer right now, because when they call my phones, nobody answers. I had to go out and buy another phone. Either my internet been disconnected and my desktop's disconnected and everything runs through the office because the office controls all these electronic things. So that's why, here's a letter from legal services saying that they can't reach me by phone. My doctor can't reach me by phone. My kids can't call me. I had to
All right.
go get
Okay,
my-
but well, hold on. You guys don't have anything to do with the phone, do you?
No.
Okay. I didn't think so.
Josh?
All right.
Because when you get into the lobby, you put in my apartment number and supposedly ring into my phone so I can press 6 and let the person in. But my phone doesn't. It's
So the intercom is hooked to some app.
no, it's that works.
The intercom is hooked to the telephone line, in which any telephone line, whether it's a cell phone or a landline, can hit 6 and allow the person to come in. So it doesn't have to necessarily be a cell phone line. And
Got it.
that is,
So you asking this question, but why do you think they did something to your phone?
Okay.
Okay. Why do you think they did something to your phone?
Because I can't call out. I can't call for 911. So I had to go get another phone the Thursday so I can make sure the meeting is here and all that. They sent me a letter that the date was moved from the 16th of September to the 26th of
that was not.
May. So I went down to the library, and the librarian checked into the
Okay, but Miss Melvin,
is still the legit, but all that paperwork I got, and I took it down to City Hall, to the city council.
okay, but listen, right now, right, you have a phone that works and you can, so that your lawyer, your doctor, everybody can get through to you. And you can still open the door with hitting the 6 if you had to, right?
But the new caption phone that they advertise on TV is hooked into the internet, but when they disconnect my internet, the phone doesn't work. So there's 4 phones actually that I have.
Okay, so who disconnected your internet? Who disconnected your internet?
I am.
You did?
Yeah, I got a desktop and I got an Apple, but it ain't working. And my phones aren't working. That's why I had to go get a new one Thursday.
Do you guys supply internet? You do not? Okay. So
I've been there since 2006.
no, I know, but Miss Melvin, who pays for your internet? Who pays for your internet?
I do. I play Comcast.
Okay. Did Comcast come do something to your?
No, I went on the computer in the library, and the librarian helped me, and I stated my problem, and they didn't come back and they didn't answer me back.
Okay, so here's what I think you need to do. Because the landlord doesn't supply your internet, you supply your own. So your issue may be with Comcast.
Yeah, well.
Okay, then that, but it's not something, what you're telling me is not something that I think they've done. It's gonna be a problem with your internet, okay?
One time they sent a young man over, and he sits in the doorway and said, "Oh, the modem works." Yeah, well, that was it. And here's like the letter says,
You feel the same way about Comcast that I feel about DT.
but it's all the same thing. If I can get the phone,
I know. I get it. I get it, but I can't do anything regarding them.
It's okay, I'll be.
What do you say?
I fish someone.
Okay, all right. Find somebody at Comcast and maybe they can help you, okay?
Well, this
All right.
is Department of Civil Rights complaint. And Department of Housing Urban Development. It's not that I'm not doing anything, I just gotta get help, and nobody wants to help.
Okay, all right.
Pick on me.
So here's what we're gonna do, all right? You said you can have, okay. You need to get that Michigan cactus moved,
Yeah.
like as soon as possible. Get that into one of the boxes.
It's beautiful. One of my friends has them in a driveway.
Uh-huh.
First time he told me you're missing a cactus. I said, you don't have no cactus. Yeah, it's beautiful yellow blossom on there.
We actually have two kinds of cacti that are native to us, but that's being different over there. All right, so get that moved in to the box. They're going to come along and they're going, okay, so Ms. Melvin, I want you to understand.
They're cutting it off, you know.
Right, so, but they're going to take the white fencing out, okay, they're going to move that. Did you want it or you want them to just get rid of it?
Okay, now the other question.
No,
Oh,
the white fencing, do you want them to?
I take care of it.
You want to take it out? Okay, then that needs to go right away so they can get behind those boxes and clean it out.
Well, there's a green fence in front of it, so, but I take care of it.
Okay, so let me do it this way.
Can't see the green fence on.
No, it's okay.
No.
So whatever fencing you or barrier you put down there, because of the mowing or whatever.
Judge, you deserve all of this. I said it before, I'll say it again. He puts the simp in Simpson in this case. It's pathetic. Now we're on to a green fence.
That's got to come out. Okay?
Yeah.
So that they can get behind there and then behind those boxes.
Your Honor, could
It's
you give
an
it,
elderberry bush that comes back every year.
Yeah, I know.
could you give us a date in which we can expect her to have that removed and us to be able to go?
What?
When can you get the cactus and the two fences out of the way?
I don't,
Okay, you got to move the Michigan cactus into the box, right?
no problem.
And then there is the white fencing, and you said there's some green barrier.
Oh, I'll take the white fence out.
Okay, so hold on. When are you going to do that? How soon can you do that?
Probably this week.
Okay, why don't I do this? I want that, I want the Michigan cactus moved.
Yes. Yes, you can certainly do that. We've had some sort of activist judges and all the attorneys get together and everybody takes a change from them in a practice area. And then they kind of are forced to like either transfer to another division or only handle certain types of matters. Because when they do stuff like this and they get their emotions all involved and everyone's like, this is nonsense. The bar collectively just says, no, we want a regular judge. We don't want an advocate for one side on all these issues.
And the fencing out by Monday.
I wanna-
The 22nd.
Should be okay.
Today's Tuesday, so that gives you about a week to do.
As long as don't rain and the floods will come, I will complete.
I think you can move fencing and the cactus in rain.
Well, they
Okay,
got stickers, and when they stick, it hurts.
you mean the cacti? Yeah, they got, okay. So I want that fencing out That's got to be moved by Monday, okay? Now, the hanging plants we dealt with,
Yes,
everything's got to be out
December 15th, you said.
December 15th.
Okay.
Now, house, you say you can get yourself down to, you can move out those other,
Nah, he does not have jurisdiction for that. That would be a probate matter, and you'd probably have to have a guardian appointed and all sorts of stuff. That is absolutely not before him. So no, that's he can't just say, "Oh, you need to move to assisted living," because they're asking her to remove her plants, even if it's a good idea.
Was it?
well, the pots
Yeah.
off of the balcony.
Well, I'm not gonna move it off the balcony. I'm gonna put the small one into the big one, and I'll.
And then move, okay, I got you. Whatever, they have to be off of the balcony. Yeah,
Pardon me?
they have to be off of the balcony,
What?
the pods.
All of them?
So you were gonna take, let me just see if I had this right, because I didn't think that this is what you were doing. You were gonna take the smaller pots,
Yeah, because.
put them inside the bigger pots,
Yeah,
and then call that one pot.
yeah. No, because the big pot, there's nothing growing right now. The sunflowers are gone. So I'm gonna take the pot with the tomato and take the dirt out and put it there. So in the bigger pot. And the same thing with the other one. So I will do 3 pots.
Okay.
Is the landlord gonna come and pick up the mice?
Well, ma'am,
Well, I'm not happy getting into the apartment.
okay, hold on a second. Okay, so I guess I was under the assumption how are we defining small?
What's the question?
How are we defining small?
Your Honor, I think 5
Small.
five visible pots.
Hold on,
I think 5 visible pots in this.
thank
case,
you. That was-
would be preferable. I don't think that we're gonna split hairs over small or large. I think
Okay,
just
got it.
considering we have 18, if we really could just get it down to 5, we're not gonna split hairs over the enormity of one pot versus the other.
18, what do you see, 18?
Well, it's okay, it's okay. Here's Miss Malma, here's what we gotta do.
Also.
We just have to get that to 5. Okay, now the one I haven't dealt with is,
The antenna.
Antenna.
So we're okay with the antenna itself being in a pot as long as it is secure. We just don't want like in the sand securing it. We don't really have a policy on antennas necessarily. She's only allowed to have one antenna. That's kind of what the policy says, and it has to be secure and safe.
so, okay, so then the question becomes, does that count as one of the, no, okay.
No, we're not going to count that because that's an antenna, right? So like if that's what's securing it, that's what's securing it. We're fine with that. But plants growing out of pots, let's keep it to 5. Let's not split hairs over big or small.
Okay,
We're trying to compromise.
okay, so here's what we've got. So that stuff has to be moved out, the cactus, we got that by
Well,
Monday.
I'm gonna not so much move out as reduce it. Let's put it that way.
Reduce what?
The pots. Let's put the.
Right, so how can you get all of that done by Monday?
By Sunday?
By Monday,
The 22nd.
the 22nd. Can we get everything done by the 22nd?
Well, between catching mice and rat killing and that, I guess I should be able to do that. I'm only 83 years old, so I have extra engineering.
Okay.
Yeah, very much protection from management. Hey, can she put back our water fountain, which is a Michigan state law? They took the water fountain out. Can we get our trash room back open so the trash can go in a room and doesn't stay in the hallway? When the people, the three-legs and walkers can't park there, three-legs and walk in the hallway, but she puts 3 garbage can out there.
All right. So here's the thing, Ms. Miller.
Yeah, I know.
No, it's okay. I want these things dealt with. I need those pots reduced to 5,
Okay.
okay, on your balcony.
Okay.
Hanging plants can stay for right now,
Okay.
okay? And then I need you to move that fencing in the Michigan cactus.
Yeah.
And you're gonna do all of that by the 22nd, so that by Monday, huh?
We have a new court date.
I'm okay. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna give you another date to come back because I want to make sure that's done.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Also, I want permission for her not to come into my apartment or send people in from my apartment and take pictures. It's a violation of my Fourth and Fifth Amendment.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So
Okay, say.
hold on a second. I'm assuming that some of that, whether it occurred or not, whatever is in regard to the other.
The health hazard, yes.
Got it. Okay, then I'm not dealing with that right now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's what I need to have happen by Monday.
Okay.
And then what's my next thing?
Your next date is.
Okay, and so then you're gonna be back on the 23rd to be able to tell me what's done. I realize you may not have cleaned it out by then, but as long as the stuff isn't there, then
The 23rd, we're coming.
the 23rd
At what time?
at 9. And hope it's not like today. Yes, ma'am.
Do you want me to take pictures of the balcony?
Yes, I'll need some follow your attorney's advice. I'm gonna need something to tell me what it looks like
To come back.
on the 25th. Okay,
Okay.
And I'm assuming the plan is to deal with the health hazard as it comes up naturally in the course.
yeah, do you don't have a date on that yet?
We submitted it, I think, on Monday.
On Monday?
Uh-huh.
Yeesh.
It could have been last Friday.
Case.
Let me look up for it.
And then I can tell you what, if they processed it, if you submitted on Monday, let's say, I'll just make the assumption, if they processed it that same day,
Yeah.
you're gonna probably see I don't think the 26th, what?
Yes, it's not.
They haven't processed it yet, so you're probably looking at the first part of October. So,
And can I have my intern?
the 10th, likely the 10th. I'm sorry?
The internet or phone connection.
What are you telling me, ma'am?
Well, I forgot the phone and they connected to the lobby. Nobody can call me and I have no service, so I have to.
Okay, but Ms. Melvin, I thought we dealt with this. Listen, you've got a new phone now, right?
Yeah.
And on that new phone, people can call you.
Hmm?
People can call you now with the new phone that you
I
have.
have to give the phone number first. But
Okay,
I'm not gonna give it to the office.
okay, I'm not forcing you.
Not unless they have the number, Judge. Oh my God, get her out. Get her out.
To give anybody your phone number. Listen, so that we can put this to bed, they don't have anything to do with your internet.
Oh, I hope they heard that.
So, yes, so you gotta call Comcast,
Okay?
okay?
Been going through this for a couple of years, you know.
Yep. So we'll see you on the 23rd, get all of those things done, and then we can kind of deal with this, all right? All right, thank you, folks.
Zoom?
Pardon?
Is that Zoom?
Is it Zoom? No, you need to come down.
No. I mean,
Is that what you're seeing up there?
Yeah.
That's Zoom.
look, everybody in the neighborhood is watching it. Last time, when I went from the building, he says, oh, I said, I'm like, huh, what do you mean? I didn't know. Even when I walk around the streets and so, people say, oh, I see you on Zoom, thank you.
I get the same thing, Miss Mel.
Downstairs department, they are so glad I am doing this.
Okay, all right, good job. All right, we'll
Aw.
see you. We'll see you. Take care.
Thanks, Roger.
Court's in recess.
Judge, you're my favorite simp. I don't know about this. All right, I'm doing this against my better judgment. I've got yet another one.
Calls the estate of Earl Samuels versus Jonathan Samuel. Your name, sir?
Samuel.
All right. This is in effect, and just so that
This is Zach's fault.
It would be
I have no idea. None.
effectively a hearing to determine whether or not a order of eviction should be entered, but that had been entered. So I'm hearing your objections and whether or not I should let that stand, sir.
Yes, Your Honor. Because it was not obtained according to proper procedure in multiple ways. If it is appropriate for Attorney Magnus as the acting for the personal representative, if it is appropriate for him to use the landlord-tenant to obtain a order of eviction, he didn't follow the requirements of the law the way, because he just tried to continue a case from nearly 2 years ago that wasn't at all the same legal entity, even though they inappropriately called it the State of Earl Samuels 2 years ago. It's actually, Dad was alive. So now Dad died and there actually is an estate. So to come to the court as Attorney Magnus did last month and say that he's now the representative of the entity that obtained the order, the judgment or the court, conclusion 2 years ago. No,
But sir, you need to understand that there are numerous occasions where there's a judgment entered by a person being or a live person who subsequently passes away. That case is then basically renamed with their estate. And it happens from both sides, particularly in with landlord-tenant. It can happen from the plaintiff side, it can happen from the defense side. So I don't know that that's necessarily an issue.
well, it is because now I'm a 50% heir. So I have a totally different legal standing than I did initially. So, and under the law, I have.
Yes, but that your standing vis-a-vis that property would have been taken care of by the probate court.
Well, that's part of my argument is the probate court should be handling this.
No, they don't. They don't have to. As to the possession of premises, there is actually, in one reading, there's either I have jurisdiction over it or there's concurrent jurisdiction between the probate court and this court. So either of the courts can act.
I thought it was pretty narrow, the landlord-tenant law saying that the ER in a case like this can only act to evict after the property says conveyed, says it's 705, 605 407 H. where it's narrow in what it allows the district court to do, because
The district court can act where a personal representative is properly before the court, but the authority for the personal representative to act has to come from the probate court. I can't confer their authority to act.
well, the guideline is that Attorney Magnus was obligated to do things in a more deliberate way rather than just try to use something from nearly 2 years ago. And you're saying that sometimes a ruling for
Oh my God.
before that can be continued on, but I would argue that because I'm a 50% heir, that
But you would have had to have gone to the probate court, right? Because the very fact that you're an heir to the property doesn't matter. What matters is that because there's going to be somebody that's going to be able to act regarding that property. And that's going to be the estate. And whoever is the personal representative of the estate is going to make those decisions, despite your status as heir. If you have an objection to what they're doing, then you go to the probate court, you make your objection to the probate court to what they're doing.
It's too boring for me to explain, but yes.
And there's appellate cases that relate to this. So there's many things going on that Attorney Magnus tried to go around that to involve this court by saying that he was continuing something from 2 years ago, which is significantly more complicated than he.
Did you seek a stay at the probate court to this court's action?
I filed a couple motions for reconsideration. I'm filing.
And the motions for reconsideration is because the probate court has ruled against you.
Right, because Attorney Magnus said things at the hearing that were
So,
not
no.
true. And
No stay.
the judge didn't have an opportunity to hear.
Which judge was this?
The new Oakland County Probate Court Judge Tracy Richards, who placed.
So Mr. Magnus went in, said what he said with his magic words and just fooled the judge.
Well, she was giving deference to Attorney Magnus and my sister's attorney.
You are not going to, one thing that you're not going to do. I don't know, Judge Richards, I don't know. But I will say this, if you are, courts give deference to parties when they come in, all right? If you are going to indicate that a colleague of mine on the bench, despite being in another county, has shown some bias to your detriment, if you're going to make that argument here, the only thing I'm going to tell you is you better bring it. Because if you're going to make that accusation, you better bring it.
The judge was proceeding as though Attorney Magnus and the attorney for my sister would be obligated to tell the truth. And she assumed that when she asked them direct questions, that they wouldn't say things that there's material facts that contradict. So that's all parts of my motions for reconsideration, because there are.
Has she ruled on your motion for reconsideration? Has she ruled on your motion for reconsideration? Okay, so you want this court to, so why didn't your motion for reconsideration include a stay of these proceedings?
It referred to these proceedings.
That's fine. Why didn't it include the request for a stay of these proceedings and or a request to prevent the personal representative from doing specific things until such time as the judge could consider?
I asked for multiple things in the motion for reconsideration. I don't think I used the specific language to ask for a stay of this proceeding, but I'm actually, it's 2 weeks today from the hearing.
So, sir, let me explain something to you, because built in, when I was a bit shocked when the parties appeared the last time by a number of things. One of the things that I was a bit shocked about was that you did not reside in the premises. And let me tell you why that's important. Because once the court determined what it determined here, that there had been a hiccup in trying to figure that out, the great fear for the court is that somebody was displaced from the premises to their house, and that something that happened shouldn't have happened. That harm isn't really in existence here at this time. You couldn't have resided at the premises because our order of evictions have a procedure in place that allows you to get before this court prior to the execution of any writ or order of eviction. And that is basically a 72-hour hold after the posting. That's the first thing. The second thing is that, from my understanding, there haven't been any things removed from the premises.
Well, but there was harm. They removed 2 vehicles which had value, and I really need the money from those vehicles. So.
Okay, so if you believe.
It's part of the eviction.
So, okay, so if you believe that the eviction was improper, that you lost some property, then you would have to go after the estate. That doesn't come here.
What I was asking for is just to stay the eviction until we resolve things in the probate court. So.
I don't know why I do that.
Because Attorney Magnus didn't follow the procedure in several ways.
I'm giving you your hearing now. And that is precisely my point. Other than these vehicles that you say have left, and I don't know anything about the vehicles, there hasn't been the harm that would normally inure to somebody who has been evicted in this instance, because property hasn't been removed. So I'm able then to give you the hearing as to whether or not to allow the eviction to stand. And in fact, give you, as I indicated in the last hearing, frankly, more time than you would have gotten otherwise to make whatever argument you needed to make to the court.
The argument is that the probate court should control things, and if not, then.
Then if you believe that, sir, and that this court wouldn't have jurisdiction over a property that is venued in the 14A district, if you believe that, then that argument needs to be made to the probate court to stay the eviction or to prevent the personal representative from acting on it.
I'm in the middle of that process. I've been.
So if you're in the middle of that process, then I should allow this to stand. And then you argue that before the probate court.
That. I think there's reasons to not allow this to stand because Attorney Magnus didn't go through the proper steps to.
I know Attorney Magnus is just a very bad individual. I get that, but that's not a basis upon which I made my decision.
Well,
I say that.
He's, as personal representative, he's obligated to be impartial, and he's doing things that favor my sister. And
He does, I would imagine that he's doing things consistent with his fiduciary obligation to his client, that being the estate. Which there are going to be those which are involved in the estate, because it always happens, that aren't going to like them. So the real issue is you don't like what he's done.
well, from my first conversation with him, I told him that the essential thing was that the farm stay in the family, and he said that he agreed with a basic argument that the person who was trying to buy it 6 months ago didn't have a good case to be able to continue trying to buy it. But then he changed his mind. So, and this eviction then helps him proceed with the sale that he changed his mind about he changed his mind in July. In June, he told me that the person trying to buy the farm from 6 months ago.
Who's the personal representative of the estate?
Timothy Flynn, the person that Attorney Marcus represents.
Yeah. So why do you have so much animus toward this man?
Why does he have such animus towards me? I was living at my parents' place more than half the time.
Apparently I struck a nerve. Are you listening to what you're telling me?
Your Honor, if someone
Are you
changed the law,
listening what you're telling me? Every sentence has begun with his name. He's an attorney representing a personal representative of an estate.
yes, and he's obligated to be impartial, and
He's obligated to do his job for his client.
and
That's his obligation.
and that would potentially include me. I was the one who worked to create much of the wealth that still remains in the estate. It was my sacrifice for many years. So for him, he's doing things which will diminish the wealth of the estate.
And why would he do?
Because it's quicker. He's doing things that will resolve the estate more quickly, which is what my sister's attorney wants, rather than to achieve. I mean, for example, my parents' house is not in great condition on the outside, and I have things prepared to do work to achieve closer to full market value. But Attorney Magnus doesn't want to do any repairs and just wants to prepare it for sale as quickly as possible. So he's going to sell it to not a typical buyer, a flipper person who will.
Is he doing that against what the wishes of the personal representative are?
No, he's doing it because that's what the personal representative wants, but it's against. what
Exactly.
makes sense for the-
Exactly. That's his client.
I also have an interest in the estate, and
You do. And if the decision is made that the property is sold, I'm presuming you'll get your fair share.
yeah, but my fair share of a diminished sale significantly. Imagine the difference between. the
Then
house.
you have to argue that to the probate court.
Yes, I'm in the middle of doing many things to the probate court. And
Okay.
you're saying, so a key thing, Attorney Magnus on June 30th changed the locks and.
There we go.
Staying more than
He went out there himself and did it?
What?
Nothing.
He
Go
did
ahead.
it. What?
Nothing. Go ahead.
What?
Go.
Can I reply briefly?
Yeah, no, you've been very good at being quiet, so we'll let that continue a little longer. Go ahead.
So on June 30th, without any notice, without telling me that I shouldn't be staying at my parents' house more than half the time, he came and changed the locks. All my things were there. He saw that my food, my computers, my clothes, everything was there, my legal papers. Imagine if someone just came to a residence where a person's living and locked locked them out, and then
But you weren't living there.
I absolutely was living at my parents' house more than half the time, and I had Google Maps timeline showing in 100 and.
It's a different house.
So we're talking about Attorney Marcus's actions, which have partial, I keep referring to him because he has demonstrated, and the way he said at first that he understood how important keeping the farm in the family was to me, and how the legal argument to sell it seemed reasonable. But then he changed his mind without justification, and all of this is the whim of Timothy Miller and Steve Marcus, rather than what's really left for the value of the estate and respecting what my dad wanted. And people refer to the estate as being intestate. There is a will. The same people who refer to no will.
Can I just say this? All of that, you've got to take me for the probate court. I told you at the first hearing, if I wanted to be a probate judge, I would have been. I'm not dealing with the will,
But
if there is one.
you're going along with what he did.
Okay, yeah. I'm going to tell you what. I don't think I've ever met Attorney Magnus before. I don't think I've ever laid eyes on him before that last hearing. What I saw his appearance, I had no idea who he was. So don't come before this court, because I know where this is headed because of the way that you make your argument, and claim that I, for whatever reason, have some bias or some other interest in what he says to me. He has said nothing in this hearing, and I see huge problems with your argument regarding this writ.
What about problems with the way he obtained the order from you? Because
Which I'm going through the process right now of correcting.
I would argue that the way the law is, the order isn't appropriate yet, because like the 605.7 is narrow in what it allows the district court to do as far as evictions. And I think I cited it correctly.
When you say it's narrow, what do you mean?
Well,
Oh,
that's
good
what I
Lord.
want to refer to.
Just
is,
get out. You lost.
The 600-5407 has just one reference to an estate and a personal representative. And it says after, it says after sale and conveyance. Oh, I have it wrong. 5417. So here, 57, I had the number one, 600-5714. 1H, when a person continues in possession of premises sold and conveyed, personal representative under license from the probate court or under authority in the will. So that's when the law that let you sign the eviction order would apply.
Oh, sir, you need to read the other parts of the statute. That is one instance.
Well, that's the only one that I saw referring to an estate like this.
Okay.
And there is other case law. In fact, there's a case that Timothy Flynn was involved with, the state of Anderson, where they let eviction issues be handled by the probate court.
Sir, what did I say to you earlier?
I mean, you've said the probate court, but I'm just asking for you to let the probate court make the decisions until it's clearly justified under 600-5714-1H for you to.
And what I'm telling you is that I'm likely to rule. And then if you believe that I am in error, you can appeal me. Or you can seek a stay of any ruling that I may enter that you deem disadvantageous to you. You can seek a stay from the Oakland County Probate Court.
Yes, Your Honor. But you could also just have a stay to wait for some additional proceedings in the Oakland County Probate Court that.
I could do it that way. But I'm telling you, I'm likely to do that.
I'm inviting all this to try to respect what Dad wanted, and if I was never to leave the family, absolutely. This is all, I have plenty of equity in other property to buy the farm. When the attorney Marcus locked me out of the place where I was living, it made life very difficult for the last 9 weeks. So I haven't been able to function very well. I mean, today I rode my bike here 30 miles because I don't currently have a working vehicle, because my life is completely a mess. And Attorney Magdis, by locking me out without notice of the place where I was living on June 30th of this year, did something that most would regard as unlawful. So
I find it incredibly easy to believe that your life is a mess based upon your performance here today.
you're not allowed to just lock someone out of a place that they're legitimately living. Attorney Magdis tries to argue that.
You know what? You coming before me, and you've just tried to besmirch this man, and you were about to, if I hadn't cautioned you, take a shot at a colleague of mine on the bench in Oakland County. Why don't you just give me the merits of what it is instead of explaining to me all the bad things everybody in the world seems to be doing to you?
I have the means and assets to accomplish what Dad wanted, and
can I ask a question? If that's all true, why aren't you making an offer on the property?
I did, and they don't want to accept it because I have to sell my properties first. So, people buy properties all the time where they have to sell their own residence first. So rather than work with me, that's why I'm so upset about everything, because people are not looking at the facts of the things, the equity that I have. It's just a matter, I could sell things as is today and get $280,000 from my West Bloomfield previous residence, or I could do a few things and get $350,000. Or I could do a lot of things and get $450,000. Next door house sold for $450,000 earlier this year. So people can put on me under how much pressure they want. Do they need me to do something today and sell the West Bloomfield house as is for $280,000, or do they want me to get $350,000 for it so that I'll have more to buy to put towards my offer on the time? And I have other properties with significant equity also. It's a similar story. So the personal representative, the estate doesn't have to be closed right away. I've made an offer that's higher than the offer that they want to accept. So it's just what my parents wanted, what I've always said was so essential. So why won't the personal representative or his lawyer work with me? Why did they change their mind? Why is it okay that he locked me out of the Farmington Hills house?
Okay, that's in Farmington Hills.
Yes, and I'm
Welcome to Washington. I don't have anything to do with Farmington Hills.
right. But the one thing that you could do is to not allow this eviction to stand and just to wait for some additional probate court action. Because that's really what controls things, as you've said.
Oh, I don't think I said that entirely.
I'm sorry.
Okay, have you finished with your argument?
There are other cases where probate court was the one that made decisions about landlord-tenant issues where it's not really falling under the landlord-tenant law. Because of my interest in the property, the way as 50% advisee, title will ultimately, if it goes to me, will ultimately be backdated to the day of dad's death. It's like title transfers at the time of death subject to administration. So it's not a typical landlord-tenant case, and there's other case law that supports that. I just haven't had time to prepare things for you.
Judge, I know there's law out there somewhere that helps me. I know it. I like that. I I can't imagine saying that with a straight face.
As I said, you've been given way more time than most individuals coming before this court.
Considering that I'm struggling with the probate court, so many filings, and appellate court, and my unstable living situation, I would argue that I could be given a little more time.
Anything else?
Just think that the court is letting, as with so many things that happen with probate court involvement, the lawyers have sort of gone around the rules, and it's
So now you're accusing the lawyers of going around the rules and the court's letting them.
well, by signing the order of eviction when it really.
Okay, well, let's get this clear. Sign the order of eviction, stayed it, had a hearing, gave you additional time once I found out that it really wasn't a residence and things hadn't been removed, and now we're here today. So if you want to talk procedurally, while it is unusual, if you want to talk procedurally and any detriment to you in that, it's not there.
Well, I have been harmed by the removal of my vehicles. And that was a part of the eviction proceeding. You remove the vehicles, the eviction server person required that the vehicles be towed before he would do his eviction and break into the house. And they did take things out of the house and damage some things. And I haven't analyzed what they damaged because I had been living there.
Well, before you told me they had.
What?
Before you told me they had.
I never said they hadn't damaged the house. They broke into the house and threw a bunch of things out on the lawn, and I put some things back on the porch. But they,
Is there anything else you want to argue to this court?
I mean, there has been harm. And the harm came after they misrepresented to the court that they were entitled, that the PR and his lawyer were entitled to have the order of eviction signed.
Sir, there's a big difference between doing something and misrepresenting something. And, I'll be honest with you, I'll listen to you but I'm not going to allow you to just come in here and just smear everybody that seems to come in your path. Because that's all that you're doing. People are going to disagree, sir. Part of the reason we're here is because people disagree. And I have to make a decision, but it has nothing to do with anybody personally. For me, it doesn't have to do with any of that.
But the actions of Attorney Magnus did have very real consequences for me over the last several months since his involvement. I mean, mainly with the Farmington Hills house and with his changing his mind about the sale of the farm and trying to get the farm sold rather than have me be able to buy it. So he has made arbitrary decisions, him and Timothy Flynn, which have
They can be as arbitrary as they want. As client, they can be as arbitrary as they want.
I would argue not. I would argue that the law.
Okay, you can argue that. I'm telling you, they can be arbitrary regarding certain things that they want to do. They don't have to operate on your moral guidelines.
Well, the law is very clear that they're supposed to be impartial and not do things that benefit the favor of one devicee over another.
Then that you need to take up with the probate court if you believe that that's happened.
I absolutely believe it's happening, and I absolutely am taking it up, and that's part of the
Okay, then that's where that argument belongs.
That's part of the reason I need more time here, because all of this helps to speed along what should have been more deliberately handled in the probate.
Anything else?
What remedy is there for the harm that's been done by Attorney Magnus having my vehicles towed and that was only because of the August 21st order that you signed when Attorney Magnus implied that he was continuing, we've discussed. What remedy is there for the harm that I suffered? And there is harm to the.
What kind of vehicles were these?
It's a 2002 Pontiac Grand Prix that was functional. It needed a new fuel line. That's
A 2002 Pontiac Grand Prix.
Yeah, I mean, it's not worth much.
The other car. What's the other vehicle?
Submitted pictures of vehicles when we told them.
The other car is a 1990 Honda Civic, which is actually worth more than the Grand Prix, even though it's not functional.
Yeah, that's people judging what American cars are worth. Go ahead.
Well, it's because there's some like people, fans of a movie, people like this old model Honda hatchback, and the engine in my Honda Civic has only 100,000 miles on it, and there's other parts. So I've seen ones that are just like a shell for 1,000. So my car with significant parts was worth over $1,000, the Civic. And
Okay, so it's $1,000. And then how much is the other one worth? It's a GM, so it's not much. I'm a Ford guy.
The other one was worth between 500 and 750 for a scrap value.
So we're talking $1,500.
I would say the Civic is actually worth more than 1,000. I said 1,000 per.
How much are you saying? 2,000 total.
Oh my God.
Anything else?
Briefly, with illustration.
You may take whatever time you want. You have been very patient and listening. Go ahead, sir.
I won't take long. You can see the same case the exact same way. I'll just say we're the latest in a long line of judges and attorneys engaged with Mr. Samuels in the exact same way. We have, I think, 7 other eviction cases. There's 9 appeals, maybe 10, I think, court of appeals with regard to, this goes back many years. The point being, I did put the court in this position by missing that 56-day court rule.
And can I just stop you there? Because, and I think it's important to point out, as this gentleman has been sort of smearing you, one of the things, and I remarked it to my staff when I went back, and that is that you came in, and for somebody that's looking to hide stuff or do whatever, the shady stuff he says you're doing, you stood before this court, said, look, Judge, I wasn't aware of this. I did this. This is what I did. Just straight up. And I'm going to just tell you this, Judge, I appreciated that. That's how lawyers practice. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, so like I said, at the last hearing, I learned that in real time, right? So we could have had this hearing 2 weeks earlier. But as you said, the result's the same. Mr. Samuels doesn't live there. We removed his cars. Yes, they're waiting at the impound for him to pick up. No problem. And I just asked the court issue the order so we can move this whole process forward.
All right.
Yeah, they want a lot of money to pick them up. So that's, and it's, I have another property a mile away that if he worked with me, we could have put my cars at my other property a mile away. Now they're somewhere 20 miles away.
Or if they were drivable prior to this happening, you could have moved them there.
They weren't driving.
Okay, then you could have gotten a tow and got them there.
Exactly. A mile would have been an easy, cheap tow, but Attorney Mongus didn't contact me.
You know, I just hook into my truck and drag it. I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Well, no, I actually could have done that to take him down.
So why is that his fault?
Because he didn't let me know that he was.
Because everything is his fault.
There was no reason for me to think that he would tow the cars in months.
Okay.
There was no reason for him to have done that without notifying. He gave me no notification at all. And he was notifying me of other things. He refers to evictions and all. The bottom line is that when I was conservator, I did for my family what anyone would want a conservator to do. And I was only removed as conservator 2.5 years ago because other attorneys said things in court, material facts that are absolutely not true, that the judge even acknowledged when seeing video.
Oh, so these were other lawyers that lied?
No, it's again, my sister's lawyer is the main.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm just trying to get it clear.
Well, my sister's lawyer has misrepresented material facts many times.
Okay. There we go again.
She has.
Okay.
Can prove.
Okay, that's fine. Is that before me?
Attorney,
Is it before me? Is it before me?
In a way, it is.
Why is it before me?
Consequences of it are before you. All of this has happened because from the beginning, I did what anyone would want as conservator. And instead of it being applauded, I markedly increased my parents' wealth. I did everything the way Dad wanted. I cleaned up their house to such that the judge, seeing the video, said, yes, it does look good. But the attorneys for other sides said, I didn't do what I did, even though they had video, proof, and later acknowledged that I did what I said I'd done, but they hadn't believed me. So it is before you because the consequences of everything that's gone on the last 4 years lead us to where we are. So this is just the final action in a terrible sequence of events, which started with my sister betraying my parents when they were clear on what they wanted for the future. And both my parents died prematurely without me caring for them because of the probate court involved. And it's obviously sounds crazy, but it is.
No, it just sounds like another one of your attacks on somebody else. That's what it sounds like to me.
So my dad was saying he wanted me to keep caring for him, and I was having him gain weight, and they took him away from me. It's mine.
Sir, then all of that has nothing to do with this case.
Indirectly, it does, because it led us to where we are. It's like there should be, my dad's will said the PR would be my sister and me. We only have an independent PR because of actions by my sister's lawyer 2.5 years ago that I didn't even understand.
Then you need to bring that to the probate court. I can't do anything about that. Even if, for whatever reason, I thought you were right, and I have my serious doubts as to whether or not you are. Even if I had my doubts, there's nothing I can do.
Well, you could just do nothing rather than enter the order of eviction.
You haven't been here before. It's rare I do nothing.
Well, in a case where there's some question as to.
No, I really don't have a question.
There are some appellate cases relating to the district court's involvement in the estates and landlord-tenant issue.
If you believe that my action is inappropriate, sir, you have all of your appellate rights.
I'm already completely overwhelmed with what I'm trying to do.
Whether or not you choose to exercise those rights is beyond me. But you will have them. And unless there's anything else, I'm ready to rule.
I understand that, and I just think that you're, as with everyone, respecting the lawyers instead of analyzing actions that they've done. Like,
sir, you know what? I'm going to stand in here at recess. I will come back. I promise you I will come back, but I don't want to say anything that's going to get me in a whole bunch of trouble.
All right.
You may be seated. I told you I'd come back. The fear of saying this, is there anything else from either party before I rule?
Okay.
Sir?
just please try to understand.
All right. Oh, I do understand. And I've listened to those 45 minutes of your argument. And at each point, frankly, and just to surmise that you were always blaming somebody else for doing something to you and then attributing some evil motive to why they were doing it. And it's all because things didn't go in your direction. In this case, counsel freely admitted that there was a violation of the 56-day rule. However, this court determined that there really was no harm that adhered to the defendant because of that. And the reasons for that are, number one, the defendant did not reside in the address. Number two, property was not removed prior to the defendant filing what I'll call his motion before this court so that he could be heard, with the exception of 2 vehicles. It's also come out during the course of this hearing that despite that, defendant had access to those vehicles in the sense that he could have paid for those vehicles and retrieved them, did not, and chose himself to not do that.
Because of lack of money.
Okay, I've let you talk for whatever. It is my time. Am I clear on that? And all of that having been said, while this is unorthodox, this court does believe that it preserves the protections that the 56-day rule, the 256-day rules actually, have in place, and the intent of those rules, so that stale orders and other things don't happen. The defendant has had an opportunity, certainly, to be heard before this court on the first occasion, back on September 3rd. The court heard the initial part of this, gave the defendant additional time, which he did not use to provide anything in writing or otherwise to the court regarding this particular proceeding. And it seems that his major beef has to do with the actions of the personal representative, counsel, the court, and everything else. And I guess prior to my going off of the bench, he, quite frankly, had not, as of yet, taken a shot at me, and was about to. And so I certainly needed to remove myself before I responded back, and may have responded back in an appropriate fashion. But you can take whatever shots you want at me. I'm sure in whatever other hearings, my name will come up as somebody who has done something wrong to you. I don't think that I have. So, having said all of that, it is the order of this court that the order of eviction will stand, and that the execution of the order of eviction signed by this court may continue.
Hallelujah.
The defendant may seek a stay if he wishes. This order to give the defendant an opportunity to seek a stay before the Oakland County Probate Court, this order will take effect for the continuation of it 7 days after the signing of my order. Thank you.
Should I submit a proposed order?
I really like having you guys here, but I'm going to do an order. All right. So if you want to wait, she's beginning that and should have it for my signature shortly. Thank you.
Well, that was just awful. My God. At least the landlord finally won. At least the landlord finally won, and damn well should have. I was worried about it. I was white knuckling it the whole way. Ay. There we have it. I didn't know what I was walking into. I did not know what I was walking into. Thank y'all for coming out. That turned into a long stream, but I got good stuff. They were just long. We kicked it off with a short one. The Epic Court Meltdown was fantastic. That was top notch. For the short attention span crowd, just go watch the first 7 minutes of this. It's good stuff. All right. Thank y'all for coming out. I think Biggin's going to begin in a minute here. I'll send you over there. Have a good one.